All right, welcome back to the Truth of Fitness podcast. This is your host, Sir Earl Bell, joined with my co-host.
Chie Figure Prodigy Talui.
And today we're going to the podcast is going to be about the how quickly life changes. We've had a few incidents
That we like to share.
that we like to share that we've had along with our clients, and it's just trying to explain the importance of not taking life for granted, because things can change, and a life can change in a heartbeat.
We just, we would like to share, because this is not just all about workout or nutrition, because we attach so many lives through what we do in personal training. We actually like to share those experience today. And, it's pretty, it is so close to, what happened to us with the clients. So I just like to, share those experiences and my thoughts today. But
Right. It's kind of like I've had so many experiences in my life of life changing very quickly. One thing was, my when my cousin, the closest person to me that passed away, I mean, it was like I had just talked to him maybe an hour before, and the next thing I know, an hour later, I'm getting a phone call that your cousin has passed. He's in the hospital. Come down to Hyde Park. We've had that people, with car accidents where your life changed in a heartbeat. Cancer. Yeah, I had one of my clients is a doctor. He's a oncologist, and he said he had a lady that came to his office recently. Now, this is within the last week. She was in her mid-20s. She had a couple of kids, and they diagnosed her with stage 4 breast cancer. And they're giving her, a few years to live. And he said he's never, as long as he's been doing this, which has been almost 20 years, he's never had a patient that was that young that was diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer. And I said, well, it didn't come through in the monogram, in the mammogram. And he said they don't usually test you in a mammogram.
That's early.
If they test early, it's early 30s, mid 30s.
Right.
And this young lady was 20 years old. He said, so they wouldn't have started testing her at that age anyway. But
yeah, it seems to be that's what's going on. And lately, what I'm hearing, or actually I experienced, one of my clients, he last time he trained with me was May in 2024. And I actually trained his wife and him. And when he came to me, he said, I had not touched the weight since when I'm in high school. And, he was a little bit nervous about it. He's actually computer programmer, so he has to sit on the chair all day, every day for, 10 to 12 hours. So, he has a weak lower body. And as we go along with the training, his endurance improved, and also, of course, the strength as well. And like I said last time, how he left was, man, Chia, I feel so good. I helped my kids move to college, and I had to go up the 6 flight of stairs, and next day I was still fine, not sore. He was so happy. His physical came back perfect. And he was supposed to come back in September, and I always periodically text our clients. And so I send him texts, and he actually responded, and his response was really shocking, because he was telling me that, when I left you, I felt perfect. I was, healthy, and his back started hurting, and then the pain didn't go away. So he went to the doctor and in July and find out that his he had a fracture in his back, and he didn't lift heavy weight or didn't fall. So doctor obviously did more test and find out that he had a stage 4 of a bone cancer. And I was just so shocking to hear that because, you felt good. And, I got probably 5, 6 more years to retire, and his children was in college or actually graduated college. And so you're looking forward to see your future, how it goes and after retirement. And then now you actually diagnosed in stage 4 cancer. Not 1, not 2, not 3. You're talking about from a healthy, perfect, physically and mentally you feels good to, and 2 months later, you got cancer and you only got 4 months left. That, I didn't, it is just so shocked. The how you can change that fast, right? And you never know, how to accept that, you know what I mean? And this is so, they tell you 4 months, so from there, I started texting him like, a couple of months later. I think that was in December, and then he told me, this is in the beginning was hard for him to go through the chemotherapy. Of course, I think a lot of people probably went through and know. But he said, and that was the 8th round of chemo, and he said, actually, get used to it, and I think I can, put myself through it and it'll be okay. Um, but unfortunately, we heard the news that he actually passed away like 3 weeks ago. You know what I mean? So it was really emotional because I know him and he was so happy. And I actually go through different clients and different experience. But, I had a client that had a car accident and lost a limb. I was training her before the car accident, like a year or so. So she's still alive. It's still keep on moving. But it's just hard to deal with, how people accept what's going on and keep on moving. That's really hard to do. You know what I mean? And so I always, from those type of experience, I say to myself, you can't take a every day just granted. You know what I mean? And just every day, do your best, invest your time to your health and, your life, your loved ones. And so it's a truly time is so precious. I normally don't cry on this, but it was just so happened to me so close. It is every day because I have clients that got diagnosed at Mass. Meantime, when I was training her. So, we always talk about, yeah, you want to lose weight. Yeah, you want to gain muscle. What about nutrition or all the training? But, we just don't train bodies. We share these life experience with the clients. And I really wanted to share. And it's, I always do my best to help these clients to have a better quality life. We don't want to, get diagnosed and trying to fix it. We want to prevent it, right? So that's why every day, I'm telling you too, that if you have a slightly the borderline diabetic or anything, you just try your best to be, fix the issue and then be healthy.
Right.
Because if your body is not there, you can do anything. You can follow your dream. You can take care of your loved ones, your family. You know what I mean? So, um, yeah, that was recently happens to me, and I just really uh, realize, like I said, your life can take it away tomorrow.
Yeah.
Life is not promised.
It changes. It changes so quick.
Yeah.
And the point of the podcast will bring this up is, you can't prevent it. What's going to happen to you is already
Yeah,
God's plan.
God had, yes.
So, but it's to say every day that you wake, you should give gratitude, give thanks, because you don't know what tomorrow is going to bring.
Oh, yeah.
You don't even know what the next hour is going to bring. I know, from me personally standpoint of having a stroke, I never in a million years thought I would have a stroke because I ate right, I worked out, I did all the right things. And then next thing you know, you have a stroke.
Right.
And your life, my life as a person changed so dramatically from that day. Your eating is different, the things you can do, the things you can't do, all those things change in a heartbeat, and there's nothing that you can do to prevent it because it's God's will. It's what He feel. It's your life is already drawn the day you're born. It's already dictated on what's going to happen. So to try to live a life to prevent it, that's highly unlikely because it's out of your control.
Well, but see, obviously, from your younger age, you were already pretty mean, right? As you born,
right,
and your neighborhood was really challenging to grow up with in. You had, I remember you told me different things that almost got you killed,
right,
but you still here, and you went through 2 mild stroke, and the last one was actually really impacted to your life, to almost your change your life style, right?
right,
Because you can't live like a heavy like you used to. The balance or the strength that you gotta continue to improve because of your nerve, and but God wants you to live.
Right.
Obviously, you're still here.
It's that's what I mean by your life is designed, but you have to learn to awaken. And that's one of the lessons that I learned very well with having a stroke, because people die from strokes. People partially paralyzed. They lose a lot of things. So in that sense, I'm very, very happy. I'm very thankful that it could have been worse. It happened. It changed. It more so changed me more mentally than physically, understanding that, like I said, life can change tomorrow. And I was
So that's why it's like, to me, you don't want to waste your time,
right.
So if you not happy, change your situation.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's you can find a way to make your life better.
Right.
If you know that you're not happy about yourself, and you have to invest your time to do better yourself, which is whatever that you want to try to be healthy or lose weight, whatever it may be, just take action.
Right.
Don't wait. And I remember one of the comedians said, we always keep our good clothes in the back of the closet.
Yeah.
But he said, you never know when you're gonna die, so you just gotta go ahead and wear your 3-piece suits tomorrow. What I mean? And that's how I feel. I was like, we saving for what, right? But those are time that you every day, and this day, this time never come back.
Right.
So I think if you have anything that you want to do, you should challenge and try.
Right.
You know what I mean? If it didn't work out, hey, change the other way. You know, but not doing or being unhappy,
Right.
and you know you are unhappy. Matter of fact, actually, when he was the last time in training, my clients that just passed away, he always had a stress from at work. And I remember he told me last time, he said, today was just a day that I just want to say, fuck it. And it just the work take over your life. But like you said, you got a couple of more years for the retirement. So, let's just deal with it and keep it going. But I think it's stress causes sickness.
Yeah.
We don't know how that cancer showed up, but we know that when you stress, and then that, you're not supposed to be on the stressful level all the time, right? But that you constantly live in that environment. And, my mom actually retired earlier because from the work, she had a stress issue and she lost her hearing, and so she actually retired at 55. Because I told her, I said, hey, if you get sick and you can't work no more, they will replace you right away.
Yeah.
They don't even think about you. They don't even care for you.
It's funny that you bring that story up, because my client Steve Collins, he worked for Coca-Cola, and he was so stressed with his job. And I'm talking to him, and he's telling me just how stressful it is. And I told him, and around that time, his son killed himself, shot himself in the head.
Yeah.
And I told him, I said, he had took time off work, and he did not want to go back to him. And this is the type of relationships that we have. He said, what I really want to do in life is move to a foreign island and just live my life stress-free that way. And then what I told him, exactly, then why don't you just do that? Why would you live your life with a stressful job, a stressful thing because your son killed himself, and you should just do it. Retire and leave and do it. And maybe 6 months later he did that, and has been happy ever since. Now that's not to say you could prevent or prolong or avoid different things, but it's to say live your life, because you only get one. You only get one shot. And so many times we're so busy trying to work the job or work the retirement or live until this come through or that come through. And the bottom line is we're not promised tomorrow.
Yeah.
We're not promised the next minute. And
Yeah,
you gotta do that.
That was really we wanted to share today. Someone probably going through right now, and or to me, and most of the people procrastinated
Right.
to do what they trying to do. You just gotta take action. Don't waste your time. Don't take your time for granted, and just invest time to yourself to become a better version of yourself.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
And understand, when you every day that you're awake, give thanks, because we're not promised that.
Yeah. And do your 100% every day.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for listening, everyone. And the next, what we're trying to do is the Wednesday, we do Life Beyond the Workout.
Life Beyond the Workout.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. So hopefully, you guys can like our page, and the follow,
Right. Like, follow, and
and share.
subscribe. Yeah.
Yes, but thank you for listening, and we will see you next time.
Yep. Peace out.
Bye.